Hello everybody and welcome. I am the Shy Hat and we're doing HackerFrogs AfterSchool Extra Credit today. We're going to be working through some challenges associated with web app security in the PicoCTF platform. So if you don't have an account at PicoCTF yet, I suggest you do so by registering at the following link. I'm going to paste it in chat now. So this extra credit session is associated with what we learned in the first web app hacking workshop, which happened on Monday of this week. If you haven't seen it, please go to the YouTube channel. That's going to be youtube.com/theshyhat. And you'll see all of the videos associated with HackerFrogs AfterSchool, as well as all of our previous live stream sessions over there. I'll leave that link in chat as well. So everybody, if you're here and you have your PicoCTF account ready to go, please type PicoCTF Go in chat now so that I know that you're ready. So we learned about a few different things in the last session. Let me see if I can grab those. If I can grab those files. So there's a GitHub repository associated with HackerFrogs. I guess I'll leave that in the chat as well. Everything goes in the chat. So you can find it at in AfterSchool. There's a folder for each one of the 3 courses we have here: Linux operations, programming, which is Python, and web app exploitation. Let's see. So let's do a short review of what we learned last time. Okay, so we learned about HTTP source code. So basically, any web page you can go to and you can look up its HTTP source, which reveals the code which was used to make the web page. Inside of this source code, you can find a lot of different interesting things for web app security testers, such as HTTP comments, and so you can find interesting directory developer comments and more. Here we see a source file for a particular image. This is interesting stuff for us web app security testers. Let me turn on my mouse highlight app so you can see what I'm pointing at. Okay. So what else did we learn? We also learned about lateral problem solving. So if you want to solve any problems as far as anything is concerned, really, not just web app security, you can always search on Google, or you can use ChatGPT and ask for the answer. It is not considered cheating because hacking is basically cheating in the first place. You don't have to worry about it. So we also learned about directory indexing. So this is an insecure setting on web servers, which allows people to see the contents of particular directories without having to access them directly. So this is something that is not present on very many modern systems, but on older web apps, it is still a very prominent and not so unusual thing to find. The third thing we learned was about robots. So there's a file on a lot of different websites called robots.txt, and this file is put in place by the web developers to prevent the indexing of certain parts of the website to search engine robots. Search engine robots are the ones that are used by all of the major search engines such as Yahoo and Google, DuckDuckGo, etc. To map out the internet. The robots.txt file is put in place in order to tell the robot where it can and can't look in the website. So this is an important thing. So today we're going to be utilizing PicoCTF. It's a very old platform for teaching a lot of different cybersecurity skills, and it is also endorsed by Carnegie Mellon University, which is a very major player as far as cybersecurity is concerned. All right, so we're going to be moving through with a few different challenges. Okay, so we're going to start with one called "Where are the robots?" So let's look for that challenge inside of the window over here. Where are the robots? I'm going to copy this and paste it in the chat for everybody. So typically, when you click on one of these challenges inside of PicoCTF, you will see the challenge description, the name, where are the robots. You can bookmark it if you like. So this is assuming that everybody is logged into the website. Of course, registration is free for PicoCTF, so if you haven't already, please go and register so you can participate in these challenges along with us. So the description here says, can you find the robots? And it also lists a couple of links for us to follow in order to access the challenge. So these are all URLs that lead to the challenge website. So just in case you want to follow along without logging in, I'll just provide, I don't know if you can access this website without logging in. I think you can, but just in case, you can try accessing it on your own without actually logging into the website. So the objective of this exercise here is to obtain the flag, which we obtain the flag by using cybersecurity skills. In this case, let's copy this, and then in another web page, let's say a new one, we're going to paste in the URL, and then we're going to navigate to it. Okay, so it's a blank web page right here, and it says, "Welcome. Where are the robots?" Okay, so that's a good introduction. So to anybody who's watching right now, if you have an answer, where are the robots? Or if you have an idea of what we should do to try to enumerate and explore this webpage, please tell us by typing in the chat. And yeah, I'll just give the chat a few seconds to come up with something and type in the chat, and then we'll go from the chat's suggestions. So Ilhan says, I've created PicoCTF. That's great. All right, so you can log in and you can participate with us. Please log in and then navigate to the link that I left in the chat. So open to anybody who's in the chat right now. If you want to type out what we should do to enumerate the web page, please do so, and we'll try to go from there. Okay, so during the last workshop, we figured out that one of the first things we do when we encounter a new web page is that we want to check out its HTTP source. We can do that by right-clicking on the page and then clicking on the View Page Source button right here. So it's also available through a keyboard shortcut, Control-U. So we can click on that, and then we can see all of the HTML source code which was used to create the page. So there's nothing super interesting here as far as security stuff is concerned. The only content here we seem to see is this text over here called "Where are the robots?" So does anybody know how to find the robots? Does anybody remember from last time how we would find the robots as far as accessing them from the web page? Via URL. Okay. So what do we want to do to the URL to access the robots? And do you remember the name of the file? So of course we can always change the value of the URL address over here at the top of the page. Ilhan says that it is robots.txt. All right. So what we have to remember when we're trying to access a specific file or a directory inside of the address bar is that we want to add a slash, and then we want to supply the name of the directory or file we want to. So that's going to be robots.txt. And when we do that, we see there's this entry right here, which is typical for a robots.txt file. So it's user agent. So user agent is the device that we're using to access the web page. So it's usually going to be the type of web browser. So it's going to be Chrome, or it's going to be Firefox, or it's going to be curl. So here it says star. So star means anything. In this case, it means anything. So any user agent is allowed. And disallow is what the search engine robot should not document. So in this case, it's going to be this directory right here. So that means that this is a directory on the web app. All right. So we can try. Sorry, it's not a directory. It's a web page because it's an HTML file. So what we can do is we can copy this, and then at the top where the search bar is, we can replace /robots.txt with this particular file, and then we get our answer right here. So it's going to be PicoCTF calculating machine something something. Okay, so what you want to do in this case to solve the challenge is copy this, and then we go back to it's a flag. That's correct. So this is the flag. This is a capture the flag exercise. And this is what is known as a flag. A flag is a secret password or some other piece of information that we gain by using our cybersecurity skills. So all flags have a particular format. Most of the time, it's going to be the name of the game or the event. In this case, it's PicoCTF, and usually there's going to be some curly braces. So curly braces here, and there's going to be the flag contents inside of the curly braces right here. So what I want to do is I want to copy the flag in its entirety, and then go back to the PicoCTF page, and we can paste the flag in here, and then we can click on Submit Flag. But before we click on Submit Flag, what we should do is we should click on the upvote button right here, so that we know, when we let the challenge maker know that we appreciate this challenge. So we upvote it, and then we click on Submit Flag. Okay, so I've solved this challenge before, so it says I have solved the challenge again. All right, so everybody, if you solve that challenge, please type "found the robot" in chat right now and leave a smiley face so that I know that you guys are following along. So just like this, found the robot smiley face. I think on Twitch there's a emote called Mr. Destructoid, and it looks like a big robot face. Alright, so let's move on to our second. I see that Ilhan has solved the challenge. That's great. Okay, so let's move on to another challenge, and this one is going to be called Inspect HTML. So I think it's on, is it on the first page? So if you want to take a look at all of the challenges in a certain category, you can always just click on one of these categories and it'll only return the challenges inside of that category. So we're looking at Inspect HTML. Where is it? Is it on page 1 or is it on page 2? Here it is. Okay, so I'll paste this this link in the chat for you guys. Okay, so this is Inspect HTML. This was from a relatively recent event. This was from PicoCTF 2022. Just for everybody's information, there's going to be a PicoCTF event going on starting on the 12th of March, and I was thinking of creating a CTF team to try to solve the challenges there. So if you're interested, type in chat and let me know, and we can start organizing our little CTF game team for solving PicoCTF for 2024. All right, so what do we need to do? Can you get the flag? Go to this website and see what you can discover. So there's a link right here. So I'll just copy the link for everybody. And then we will click on the website and see where it leads us. Okay, so we have this web page right here. It looks like some ancient history right here. So what should we do to inspect this web page? So we have this web page. We know there's a flag. What is the first step we should do to try to determine what's on the web page, or if there's anything interesting hiding inside of it? So the actual contents of this web page are, it looks like some ancient history stuff right here. I'm not sure. Herodotus was a Greek guy, I think. But so we should move on. What we need to do is we need to inspect the HTTP source, and we can do that with the by right-clicking and clicking on View Page Source, or we can do Control-U. Let's try using the keyboard shortcut. Actually, I'll teach you a tip. So inside of the address bar itself, you can type view-source and then add a colon to any URL, and it's going to let you see the page source for it. You don't have to right-click, and you don't need to use the keyboard shortcut. So right here, inside of the source code, we see inside of an HTML comment, and you know that it's an HTML comment by the arrows right here. We see the flag right here. So we can copy this one, and then we can go back to the PicoCTF page. We can paste it in, and before we submit the flag, we can give it a big thumbs up, because we like to be positive over here, and we like to support PicoCTF because it's such a great website for teaching cybersecurity. So finally, we can click on Submit Flag, and that's the end of that challenge. So we have quite a few challenges to work through today. I've got something like 10 of them here. So if you've solved that one, please type inspected the HTML and add some smileys just for me, if you would. Okay, so we're moving past the strictly easy challenges. Well, I mean, I guess easy is kind of subjective, but we're going to move on to a challenge called includes. So this is the challenge over here. It's called includes. So Ilhan has decided to use our lovely Mr. Destructoid emote. Thank you very much. So this is the includes challenge. So this one is a little more complicated than the previous two challenges. So this is called includes. It was also part of the PicoCTF 2022 event. All right, so once again, can you get the flag? Go to this website and see what you can discover. So we have a website right here. I'll copy that into the chat for everybody. Okay, and let's. Well, first of all, let me close this one out, and then we're going to navigate to this website. So here's this website right here. Okay, it says many programming languages and files have a directory, often called include, sometimes copy or import, that causes the contents of a second file to be inserted into the original file. These included files are called copybooks or header files. They are often used to define the physical layout of a program data, pieces of procedural code, or other forward declarations while promoting encapsulation and reuse of code. I wonder why they've included this here. Okay, so how would we begin trying to solve this challenge right here? What could we do? So for the first time in these kind of challenges, we see that there is a button over here, and the button says "Say hello." I wonder what that does. So we can click on this button here called "Say hello," and this is it looks like an alert, and it says this code is in a separate file. All right, so it looks like we're dealing with more than one file in this case. So we can click on OK. So if you already know what the answer is, you can go ahead and type it in chat. Otherwise, we can just inspect the HTML code here with the view page source as usual. Okay, so what do we see in here? So we see the contents of the web page over here. And we have a button as well, and the button is going to activate the greetings function over here. So that's what happened when we clicked on the button. So where should we start looking for some extra information? Does anybody know? Robots.txt. Okay, well we could try that. So we can go back to the web page, and we can try looking in robots.txt. Okay, so we tried looking for robots.txt, but on this website there is no robots.txt. Devilmind is here. Welcome, Devilmind. I'm glad to see you. Okay, so Devilmind, do you have your PicoCTF account, and are you logged in? I think you can still access these challenges without being logged in, but unfortunately you can't submit flags unless you have your PicoCTF account active. So, Devilmind says script. Script? Okay, so that's a good clue. So inside of the source code, there are a couple of files here. So we should always pay attention to the files included in HTML code. In this case, we have two files. There's one which is style.css, and CSS is used to make web pages pretty. So the CSS file usually has some information about how to format the text and the colors. And we also have this JS script. So JS is a JavaScript file, which means that the script over here is going to contain some JavaScript code, right? Okay, so Ilhan says, "Oh yeah, I got it. They purposely separated the flag." Okay, so do you know where the flag is? So let's try opening up the style.css file. So we can right-click and put it in a new tab. So it says here, PicoCTF inclusivity 1 of 2. Okay, so this right here is indicative of JavaScript comments. So anything inside of oh sorry, it's not JavaScript, it's CS. It's CSS. So anything inside of here is going to be commented out, but this is actual code right here, and this sets the background color to light blue. So Ilhan says the first one is in style CSS and the other one is in script.js. Okay, so we can copy this, and this is just the first part of the flag. We can copy it, we can go back to PicoCTF, and we can paste in the first part, and then we can go back to the web page. And then we can go to script.js over here, and we can open that up. So this code is in a separate file. So this right here is a JavaScript function. So this is kind of similar to the Python functions that we were writing a couple of weeks ago, except that they use curly braces over here to define the code block. And it uses the JavaScript alert function to print out a message. This code is in a separate file. Of course, because it's JavaScript, you have to put a semicolon at the end of each one of these lines. But of course, we have the rest of our flag right here, so we can copy it, right? So we copy it, and then we go back to PicoCTF and paste the rest of it in. And then before we submit the flag, we definitely want to show our appreciation to the challenge makers by upvoting the challenge here. So click on the thumbs up button. Before we go on, I'm going to just close out these browser tabs because it gets a little crowded after a while. Okay, and then submit flag. Okay, so everybody, if you've solved that challenge, please type in the chat includes included. Included. Spelling is not my strong suit. I shouldn't have gotten into computer science. All right, so now let's do a few more challenges in the same kind of vein. The next challenge is called Inspector. All right, Ilhan says includes included, smiley face. Good to see it. This one's called Inspector. So where is that Inspector challenge? Let me dig it out. Inspector, this one right here. Okay, so I'll leave the link in chat for everybody. Oh, Devil Mind. So I was just talking a little bit earlier. PicoCTF is going to have their annual event. I think it's going to be a week from now. It's going to start on March 12th, I think. And I was thinking about gathering a few of us HackerFrogs and making a team so we can try to solve the challenges together. What do you think? Are you interested in participating? Type in the chat if you are. Maybe we can exchange information and get ready to participate in the event. All right, so this is the Inspector challenge. All right, and they tipped us off that the following code may need inspection. Of course, we get a link right here. We get a few different links. So we can use any of these 3 links to access the challenge. I will leave this link in the chat for us all to use. Okay, so let's jump into the challenge. So I'm going to open this this website in a new tab. Is it beginner friendly? Devilmind, so PicoCTF is typically the most beginner friendly CTF event for cybersecurity students. Of course, there are going to be some more difficult challenges thrown in there as well, but there's going to be a good amount of challenges that that beginners can solve, and that's what I want to focus on as far as making a team of us HackerFrogs. So the HackerFrogs team will focus on completing as many of the beginner challenges as we can, and I would appreciate it if we could if we get a number of talented hackers to work on our team. All right, so let's take a look at the web page. So it says I made a website. Okay, so what? I made a website, and we have another tab over here that's called How. I use these to make a website. So this is HTML, CSS, JS, JavaScript. So this is the holy trinity of web development. It's these three languages. It's HTML for the contents, CSS to make it all pretty, and JavaScript to make to do a lot of funky functions. All right, so how do we begin taking apart this this particular challenge? If you have an answer for where we should look for these particular flags, please let us know. And just in case people do not know, you might ask this particular question. This is a hacking. This is what we're doing right now. So this is web app security. All right, so Ilhan says view page source, locate CSS and JS file, capture the flags. All right, so of course we can just, what are we doing? We're going to inspect the source code, which you can do with the Control-U keyboard shortcut, and we see that there are a number of different links over here. So inside of the HTML comments, we get different parts of a flag right here. So it's 1/3 of a flag. This is the first third. So we can copy that and then put it in the PicoCTF challenge page. Okay, and then we can go back. So Ilhan says that we should locate CSS and JS file, capture the flags, okay? All right, so we have CSS. So mycss.css, and we can open that up. And over here, so it says you need CSS to make pretty pages. Here's part 2 of the flag. Okay, so we can copy that. So a lot of beginner-friendly CTF challenges, CTF events are going to have web app security challenges that are kind of like this, where you don't have to do a lot to solve them. You just have to know where to look. In our case, we should know how to inspect page source, and of course, the last part of the flag is going to be inside of the myjs.js file over here. So if you ever want to know what any of these functions are inside of these JS files, we can always paste this stuff into ChatGPT and ask it for an explanation. But aside from that, we should know that that JavaScript uses /* as the beginning of the comment and / as the end of the comment. So just so we know, and so we can copy the last part of the page, the last part of the flag, and then we can submit it to here, but before we do that, we should click on the upvote to show appreciation to the challenge makers, because making these challenges, you know, it takes a good amount of time. Okay, so before I click on submit flag, I'm going to close out these web pages. Okay, if you've solved this one, please type in, what was it? Inspector Gadget. Does anybody remember that that old cartoon from the 90s? Okay, so that was Inspector. Next one we'll do is Scavenger Hunt, which is right over here next to it. Inspector Gadget. Thank you. Okay, and we will. So these get a little bit repetitive after a while, but it's good to train your muscle memory so that that you know you can start getting a feel for doing the same things over and over again, so that when you enter into a web app security challenge, you know what to look for first. Okay, so I'm going to grab the link for the challenge over here, and then we will open it up. Okay, just some boring HTML. This looks very similar to one of the other challenges, doesn't it? Okay, so everybody, do you know where we should look first? So what are some things we should look for? Okay, so as usual, we can look for robots.txt and see if it's on the page. Huh, the web page is a bit. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there is. So there is a robots.txt file over here. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Actually, I haven't done these challenges in a little bit. Just as a heads up. So we know that this is part 3 of the flag, perhaps. So I think this is an Apache server. Can you access the next flag? Apache server, is that very relevant to this challenge? I wonder. Okay, so that means that's part 3 of the flag. We're just gonna paste it in here. All right. Okay, so where's some other places we could start looking for potential information? So of course we can always view the page source. Okay, and inside the page source there is here's the first part of the flag, PicoCTF T something something. So I think there's going to be 5 parts of this flag. That's a lot. So we can copy this, and we can provide this as the. So if this is part 1 and this is part 3, I'm going to leave a bit of space between these different flag parts, so I don't put them in the wrong order. Okay, so what other contents inside of this source code should we start looking at? Does anybody know? If you know, go ahead and type in the chat to let us know. If there's anybody new here who doesn't know what exactly is going on, we're doing some. Oh, it looks like I need to reset my music. Okay, so Ilhan says my css.css. We could look at that. We could look at that. Okay, so let's open that up. Okay, so it looks like there's some information here about backgrounds and what font we should put in the body of the web page. Okay, and we also have part two of the flag right here. So we can copy that, and then we can go back to the PicoCTF page. So that's part 2. So this was part 4, I think. So we should leave this separate. Okay, so going back, that was the mycss.css, and if we were to finish this off, right, we would go to myjs.js, this file right here. Okay, so we can look at this in a new tab. And here it says, so there are a bunch of different functions right here. None of them seem super interesting, except that it says, how can I keep Google from indexing my website? Okay, so that kind of points to the robots.txt file, which if we go to here again, this was part 3. Oh, this was part 3, okay. Okay, so that means we can put this together because this is part 1 and this is part 2. Okay, so all we need to do is find the final part. So does anybody have any idea where we would look for the final part? Let's see if there are any additional Oh, you know what? I think it could be. It could be that we have to look at the, what is it called? The response, the server response for this particular flag. So what we could do is we could open up our command prompt and we could use curl to return the web page. So to anybody who doesn't know, curl is a program that we can use to return the contents of web pages. I usually use curl with double V as the first flag so that it gives us more output. And then what we need to do is we need to supply the URL of the page we want to get, which would be this one right here. So we copy that. Whoops. Right here. Okay, so we can paste into here, and that's going to return the contents of the web page, but it's also going to give us some server information. So we connect to the website using curl. Okay, and then interesting. Okay, so I'm actually kind of stumped because I could have sworn this was the way you solved this challenge. Okay, there was a clue. There was a clue in the robots.txt file. I think this is an Apache server. Can you access the next flag? Can you access the next flag? Okay, so I think this access word right here has been capitalized, so it might be an important part about how to get the last the last part of the flag. So let's look for a hint over here. So we can click on this button over here to get a hint. You should have enough hints to find the files. Don't run a brute forcer. Okay, I guess we're not. Oh, HTTP Apache. Actually, I think I've heard of a specific file on Apache service called access. Okay, so let me ask ChatGPT. Is there a specific file called access on Apache web servers? Interesting. Okay, so we're going to leave this the challenge for right now. If you guys want to keep on cracking at this particular challenge, you guys are free to. And if you can find the last part of the flag, that is great. But we're going to move on to another challenge now. So this one, scavenger hunt. If you can find the very last part of the flag, please let us know. But we're going to move on to the next challenge. This one is called search source. Okay. All right. So search source. Is right here. How about Gaurav J? I'm gonna call you Gaurav J. If you can teach me how to say your name, that would be very much appreciated. Gaurav J says, how about the HT access file? So HT access file. Okay, let's can you access the HT access file from of an Apache web server from the internet? Okay, it says so. GPT says we can't directly access the .ht access from the internet unless the servers specifically configured to allow us access to it. But that's interesting. We could try accessing it.
They're gassed, Jill. Can they turn it around and make this meeting an email?
So it's .htxs. Wow, that was it. Gaurav J, thank you very much for suggesting that. So this is the fourth part of the flag right here. Does anybody have... I love making websites on my... Oh, there's another part. That's... I love making websites on my Mac. I'm sure I can store a lot of information there. Oh, there's also... Okay. We're going to shelve this one. But if you want to challenge yourself, you can, after this is, we're not going to do this on stream, but what you can do is this challenge right here that's called scavenger hunt. You can try doing some research, maybe search with Google or ChatGPT and try to solve the challenge on your own. But my music, I gotta reset it again. Hold on. Okay. There's a Mac file called dsstore. Okay, well let's try solving this right now then. There's a Mac file ds.ds_store. Okay. So first of all, let's let's go back to the challenge then. What was it? Scavenger hunt. Was it on the first page? Scavenger hunt right here. Okay, I'm going to paste this in, and let's look for this file then. So it's going to be .ds_store. Oops. Okay, congrats, you completed the scavenger hunt, part 5. Okay. All right. Well, Gaurav J, you that was a good guess. That was a good guess, and I appreciate having you here in chat. We have completed the scavenger hunt. So that is part 4 and part 5. So let's find those other parts one more time. So the first part was in the page source. So PicoCTF is part 1. And then part 2 was in the CSS file. Gaurav J, are you a cybersecurity student, or do you work in cybersecurity? I'd love to know. Okay, so that's part 2. Gaurav J says, no. Are you interested in learning cybersecurity, or do you work as a developer? I'm a web developer. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Well, do you? All right. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about web app security is that if you come from a web developer background, you are definitely very ahead of the game as far as understanding what is going on. All right. So the third part was in the robots.txt file. Okay, but yeah, Gaurav J, we actually are putting together a little team for doing the PicoCTF event that is happening next week. I do believe it starts on the 12th of March. If you're interested in joining the HackerFrogs team, what we're going to do is we're going to get a team of talented hackers, and we're going to solve all of the easy level challenges, as many as we can, across the different categories. If you're interested in doing such a thing, please send me a DM, and maybe we can exchange information and organize the team. The same goes for everybody else who wants to participate. Our good friends like Ilhan or Devilmind, if you're interested, please give me a DM, and we'll see if we can set this up. So this was a good little challenge right here, and it was a bit more difficult than I expected it to be. Before we solve the challenge, let's upvote this so that we show some love to the author of the challenge, MadStacks, and then we click on Submit Flag. Sorry, that flag is incorrect. Okay, what did... Oh, darn. Wait, I don't know where this goes. Is it like this? Well, I'm going to consider myself as having solved it anyways. All right. So our next challenge is going to be search source. Okay, so search source, I do believe, is on the second page. Okay, and let's see, I will include this link for everybody here. Search source, and the associated website is this one right here. Okay, so it says here, the developer of this website mistakenly left an important artifact in the website source. Can you find it? Well, it seems that this might be, this is probably more of the same, but we should probably get used to doing more of the same. So I'm going to close out the rest of these tabs. Okay, so we have, so this is a more of a complete website than any other challenge that we've seen. It looks like we're advertising for yoga or some sort of store. So we shouldn't be intimidated just because this website is more complete than other challenges we've seen today. Because when you do real-life web app security testing, you are definitely dealing with full versions of apps, not just empty web pages. So how do we start this this particular task? Of course, we could look for robots.txt inside of this website. Okay, it says 404 not found, so this so robots.txt does not exist on this particular website. Of course, we could always look at the HTTP source, yeah? So that would be view-source and then a colon. So we have quite a few different different files right here, and we could look through them all, but that is quite a bit tedious. So it says the flag is not here, but keep digging. Okay? So everybody, I want you to... So what we have to understand is so if you're looking at these different links over here, what you have to understand is that any link that has a domain that is not the same as our domain for this website is not going to have anything that we should be looking at. So this is a googleapi.com domain, so this is not going to have anything that we're looking for. So we can safely ignore it. But what are some other files in here? So we have a bunch of different JS files in here, and these look like that they're all on this website itself. So we could try opening up each one of these. Of course, that's quite tedious. And in each one of these pages, what could we do? We could actually look for the flag. And how do we look for the flag? Well, we do our good old search function, and we look for the search term Pico. So in each one of these, we search for Pico, and if it's not there, then then we know that it's not there in plain text. So there's 0 here. Okay, what about this one? So in this one, there's also 0. And in this one, there's also 0. This one is also 0. So this is, it's not here. And, oh, there's something here. Wait, no, I'm looking for Pico. Nope, no Pico here. Okay, so it's not in any of these files. Okay, so this one over here, html.design, this is not going to be it because this is not the same domain. So we could ignore that. Okay, so we know that there is from this source right here, we know that there's a directory called images in here. So we could try looking inside of, where is it? We could try directly accessing this directory from the web app images. So it says forbidden. So this, so in this case, there's no directory indexing or directory listing vulnerability on this website, which is good and bad. It's bad for us, good for them. Okay, so let's go back and inspect the web page again. So it's not going to be inside of any of these files right here. And we know that we can't access the images directory itself. Okay, we also know that there's a CSS directory and all these files right here. So what we can do right here is we can open up these CSS files, okay? And we can search inside of those. So we can open these up. And we can also see if the CSS directory is directory listed or not. It's probably not going to work, but we can try. So this one is also forbidden, meaning that this directory does not allow anybody to just look through it, which is good for security. Anyways, all right, so we've got a couple of CSS files to look through. We're searching for Pico, of course. So we search in here for Pico, and we search in here for Pico. Oh, wait. Okay, so it turns out that the flag was hidden inside one of the CSS files. Okay. So right here is the flag, and it was hidden in this style.css file right here. Okay, so we're going to copy that. And I'm going to paste the flag in. And before I finish the challenge, I'm going to close out all these windows. Sorry, I'm going to close all these tabs. Okay, so that was search source. Okay, everybody, if you've finished that particular challenge, please type search the source in chat and add a couple of smileys. All right, as usual, if you enjoyed that challenge, please upvote the challenge before you submit the flag. Okay, and then submit the flag. All right, so actually, what I want to do is I want to highlight a script that I wrote using Python. So in the HackerFrogs GitHub repository, so I made a couple of scripts for dealing with. So Ilhan says about the competition told me earlier. I'll think about it later. Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, you can always send me a message over Twitch, or you can send me a DM on Reddit. To anybody who we're gonna do a couple of challenges more, but we're gonna wrap up in a little bit. Before anybody goes, I'd like to advertise the fact that we have a YouTube channel, which is YouTube at the Shy Hat. Are there requirements to join? There are no requirements to join. Anybody can join and sign up for the event. You should be able to see the event at PicoCTF.com. Let's see, PicoCTF.org. Sorry. So PicoCTF 2024 is from March 12th to March 26th. That's a full, how many days is that? That's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks of competition. And yeah, so if you're interested in forming a team as HackerFrogs, then I would really appreciate it. But where we're looking at programs and scripts. Okay, so I created 2 scripts right here. So the one is called gather URLs, which is going to get all the resources from a particular web page. I'll leave the link for this in the chat, so you can take a look at that. And the other one that goes along with gather URLs is search URLs. So this is going to let us solve some easy level web app security challenges by plugging in the URLs, and it'll let us search through all of the URLs for the particular flag string. So let's take a look at this in action. So so I'll copy the code over here. And I'll make a little file. I think I've already made this file. So this one is, which one is this? Gather URLs, okay. So gather URLs is, yeah, it's this one right here. So I'm going to save this one as okay, so Ilhan just says, I'll let you know via Twitch if I want to participate. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so don't feel pressured. You don't have to participate if you don't want to, but I think it would be very fun. Okay, so this script is designed to gather up all the URLs from a particular web page. So I'm going to let's edit this one. So gather URLs. We need to plug in the URL we want to search. So I'll grab the one from, where was it? Was it search source? This one right here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to plug it into my parameters right here. So what this script does, it accesses the web page, and then it looks inside of the source code for all of the different links inside of the source code, and then it adds them to a list. And after adding them to a list, it's going to write out a file called urls.txt, and then we take that file urls.txt and we feed it into another script called search URLs, and that's going to search the different URLs for the flag string. So I've plugged in this particular challenge website. I'm going to save the file, and then I'm going to run this from my desktop. So Python gather URLs.py. Okay, so what that does is going to create the urls.txt file right here. So we can type that out inside of Windows. And it returned all of the different files right here. Okay. And then we have to make use of the second file, which is search urls.py. So what this does is it runs through the file, and man, nothing but ads on my music YouTube. Okay, so what it does is it runs through each one of the URLs in the urls.txt file, and then it searches inside of each one of them for the search term. So the file path is going to be urls.txt, and we're going to search for the flag file, the flag string, Pico, because every flag inside of PicoCTF starts with the word Pico. So we're going to search for that, and each time it finds it, it's going to report to us. So we're going to save that, and then we're going to run it. What is it? Python, right? Python search URLs.py. Okay, and it reports to us that search term Pico was found in the URL, this URL right here, style.css. So this is a fun little way of searching through the source code of a particular website. Granted that this is only useful for doing CTF challenges like what we're doing right now, but it's always good to make use of your programming skills to automate, you know, kind of tedious tasks like looking through different URLs found in the source code. All right. So if you are interested in these two files, you can find them on the HackerFrogs GitHub page. Where was it? Right over here. And I'll leave that link in the chat for you all. Hold on. So it's in this directory right here, and I'll leave that link in the chat. So you should be able to, anybody should be able to access them. So you don't have to worry about not being able to access it because you don't have an account. I'm pretty sure you can access it whether or not you're logged in or not. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do one more challenge before we finish out the session. Okay, so this one is called Roboto Sans. All right, so let's go to the web page. Is it on the first page? Let's just search for it by name. It's called Roboto. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to leave this in the chat, the link. Okay, the flag is somewhere on this web application, not necessarily on the website. Find it. Check this out. Okay, I'm also going to copy the web page for everybody to access. Oops. Okay, so this looks very similar to the last one, doesn't it? Okay, so this one was called Roboto Sans, so we have to assume that there is some sort of robots.txt file on here. So let's try it out. Okay, so this one says, think you have seen your flag or want to keep looking? And we have a bunch of stuff right here. So can anybody take a guess as to what this text here might be? It's probably not gibberish. Okay, so Ilhan just says, looks like a password. Okay. All right, so do you think this, well, here's an interesting thing. Anytime you see some interesting text, there are a few different websites you could go to try to decipher it. So what are we doing? We're looking for encoding. Devilmind says this is base 64. Well, this very well could be base 64. Base 64. So base 64, there's an encoding decoder online for base 64. We could try going here. So base 64 encode decode. So I'll leave the link for you guys. base64encode.org. So we can paste this right here, and then we can try to. Oh, this is not for decoding. Okay, so to decode, we have to click on this this button right here. So base64decode.org would be the decode version. So we can paste that in right there, and then we can hit decode. Okay, so it's flag1.txt. Okay, so what I'm guessing is that this right here, this last line right here, is not base64. So we can delete that, and then we can try decoding it again. So flag1.txt, and then actually, let's decode these. Let's decode just this first line. So just the first line is flag1.txt JS my something something. Okay, so that's interesting. We can copy that, and I'll just leave it in the chat for now. And then we'll try decoding the other part right here, just by itself. Decode that. So it's js/myfile.txt. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think we could do with this information right here? So we have these these two. Actually, the last thing that I would do is what we could do is we could copy this, and then we can try asking ChatGPT what it thinks. So the following is encoded slash what is it called? Encrypted strings. What could this be encoded with? And then supply that. So it provides us with an interesting way to decode it using Python, and then it gives us the answer. Well, the decoded versions right here. So flag1.txt js/myfile.txt. So we can try these as some different file paths we could try to solve the challenge. So what was that again? It was js/myfile.txt. Okay, and that is the answer. So PicoCTF, who doesn't like robots? So we can copy that. We can go back to the challenge. We can paste it in. And as usual, if you like the challenge, you definitely want to click on the upvote button right here. All right. So everybody, if you managed to solve that challenge, please type "I am the robot" and then either smiley face or Mr. Destruct or Mr. Destructoid if you're on Twitch. Okay, Elandris is the robot. Good to hear, good to hear. All right, so we solved quite a few different challenges today. let's see. I'm going to type in the chat some other challenges we didn't get to today, but I'm pretty sure we can solve as of right now. These are all a little bit more difficult than the other ones that we saw today. So I'm going to leave the names of the challenges in the chat. And to everybody in chat who has not finished these challenges, I want you to try them out on your own. Ilhan Idris says, I believe that every website can be hacked. Well, if you have enough information, you might be able to do so. So these 3 challenges right here, local authority, don't use client side, and secrets. Give those a try and see if you can solve those on your own. But we're a bit over time today, but this is very fun, solving CTF challenges with the chat. Thank you very much to our good friends Ilhan Idris and Devil Mind, and our web developer friend Gaurav J. That's what I'm going to stick with. But it was very fun hanging out today. As usual, everybody, we're going to be back on Monday with another web app security workshop. This time we're going to be delving into a few more interesting techniques that we can add to our web app security toolkit. Hope to see you there. But until then, have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next time.